So give me your guard over $7,500, Gare Bear.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of guys to choose from, obviously. Some big name injuries on this small slate, and there's a glut around 8K, specifically at point guard, where you find Chris Paul, you've got CJ McCollum, and you've got SGA, and I think I'm going to lean to the cheapest of the three. Josh Giddey not playing for the Thunder. I know we don't spend a lot of time thinking about the Thunder, but his usage rate, SGA, skyrockets when Giddey has not been on the court so far in 2021. It goes up to 35.1%. He's averaging 1.24 DraftKings points per minute when Giddey's been off the floor so far this season. And we just saw Gilgeous-Alexander play over 35 minutes in last night's game against the Rockets. Maybe they're a little bit more conservative with his playing time on the second night of a back-to-back. We know how, let's say, overly cautious the Thunder have been with SGA in the past. But I think this is a pretty good matchup, too. We talked earlier in the week about just how good point guards have been against the Memphis Grizzlies so far this season. The second most DraftKings points per game to the position. So I'll lean with SGA on a slate where there's a bunch of guys at 8K that you could really go with.
All right, Whalen, hook me up with your guard over $7,500.
I do like the SGA call by Garion, but I'm going to go DeJounte Murray tonight at Portland. He's at 9,800, so you are going to have to pay up a little bit. But I don't love a lot of the options at forward, so I'm a little more comfortable spending up at the guard position. But Murray's got at least 48 DraftKings points in each of his last 4 games, 6 of his last 7. He's been over 54 DraftKings points in 5 of those 7 games. So he's truly settled in as kind of this breakout guy that we thought he might be this season in San Antonio. And then you look at the matchup, Portland already a bottom 3 defense in the NBA. They're 27th against the point guard position when it comes to DraftKings points allowed. You take away Damian Lillard, not that really affects your defense all that much, but you're replacing him with Anthony Simons, who's one of the worst guard defenders in the league. Like, at least Damian Lillard puts in some effort. You can't always say that about Anthony Simons. Norman Powell could miss this game as well. Nasir Little, another long kind of defensive-minded body on the wing, already been ruled out of this game. So even at full strength, the Blazers have very few options who you feel good about throwing at DeJounte Murray. Certainly not McCollum, not Lillard, not Simons. You take away some of those key guys, and I think this turns into an even better matchup for the Spurs and for DeJounte Murray.
Okay, Mr. Friar, who is worth dropping all the pennies on here at guard?
Well, I'm always going to be a fan of playing DeJounte Murray, but I'm going to lean more towards Garion's end of the spectrum tonight, where he's got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going. But I'm going to go with CJ McCollum, also in that mid 8K range, because this is this game has the highest total tonight. Portland, San Antonio. No Damian Lillard, of course, for a while. Norman Powell out again, could be out again today. I'm sorry, he's questionable. Obviously Nick was hitting on Little is out as well. So CJ is going to be the guy in the short term, and his usage rate goes from 24.1% to 31.5% with Lillard off the court. And we just saw in last game where he popped off 26 shots, 11 of which are 3-pointers. Those are both significant increases from his season average. And that's against the lowly Pistons. I know the Spurs haven't been great either, but McCollum's got to carry that kind of workload against that bad of a team. We're going to expect that again tonight against the Spurs. So because you're getting a quality player at the end of all this with an increase in volume, you got to take advantage of that.